Hello and welcome to the Week 1 live lecture recording. This is your instructor, Carissa Dalkey. I've got a cold, so I do apologize in advance, but I definitely wanted to get you this recording out. So if you can't make it to the live lecture, that's okay. So you have this recording to go over those items. So the housekeeping items are what we're going to go over first, and then we're going to go over some MindTap resources. So the first thing within the housekeeping items is your syllabus. Definitely take a look at the syllabus. You're responsible for this information. So basically, you're responsible for knowing this information, I guess I should say, be a better way to put it. My contact information is at the top, so you have my email address, telephone number, and my office hours. If you need to make an appointment with me outside of those office hours, you're definitely welcome to. Just make sure you email me prior to it, just so I know and I can expect it, because there's sometimes that I'm not available, especially around like bath time and dinner time. Because my kids just will not allow me to get on the phone at that time. Course is 3 credit hours, 4 weeks, about 40 hours of instruction, 10 hours per week, and you should plan for about 20 hours of work a week. I know that's a lot of time to devote, but you just need to devote as much time as you can to get your material understood, read, and get your assignments and your assessment and your discussions completed. Now your textbook you should already have access to through Cengage. You've used it in previous MED courses. But we're going to be using MindTap. So this is going to be nice. It's going to be really cool software if you haven't used it before. It works well with the Delmar's Comprehensive Medical Assisting book. Course objectives are on here as well. We're basically learning about ECGs, different type of arrhythmias, and basically how to perform the 12 lead EKGs. And to distinguish between the different leads that are associated with the ECG. The course outline is also available in the syllabus, so it'll let you know what you're going to be doing each week, what chapter you're going to be focusing on. This course is nice because we really are only focusing on chapter 37. So 4 weeks in one chapter. So I'm expecting you to definitely understand chapter 37 by the time you're done with this course, because you're going to be working with it each week. Roadmap for Success is also here, and the grading scale. Assignments are due Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time, and that is the last chance you can have to receive full credit. At 12 a.m. Sunday morning, no longer can you receive full credit unless you had an extension. An extension is only granted if there's an emergency situation, or you were sequestered as part of a jury, or you had military obligations that prevented you from being able to access a computer. The awesome thing about an online course is it's accessible to you 24 hours a day. So a lot of the life issues that would normally prevent you from going to class aren't the same when it comes to an online class. So the expectation is that you'll log in every day, you'll complete your work, and that you'll complete your work on time. The only exception to late work being accepted up to 1 week from the due date with the 20% point deduction is week 4. It cannot be submitted late. So just make sure you plan ahead for that as well. Your discussion forums are a way for you to really discuss with your fellow classmates about the topic. So use this as the opportunity to share what you've learned, not regurgitate what you read. You should not be just typing what you read from another author. Not only is that plagiarism, but also you're not really understanding the material if you're not able to discuss the material. So think of it as there's not really a right or wrong answer. It's more or less, how did you interpret the information, and what would you like to share about the information? Feel free to ask each other questions. I really like it when you bring in questions to the discussion, because that helps facilitate everybody else's learning as well as your own. So discussions will be graded according to the discussion grading rubric. So basically what that is I'm grading on things like your participation, your following of instruction. So did you meet the 150-word criteria? Do you have an APA formatted reference? Because it is a criteria. So I did post a how-to video, and I emailed it as well. So it's in the announcement page, and you got it via email on how to create an APA formatted reference. So make sure you do that, because that is a requirement, and I do grade according to that. Course participation, you're expected to log in at least 4 days of the week, but I expect you to log in 7 days a week. Just because really, if an announcement gets posted, it's best that you're in the course to be able to see it. Also, if you do the daily checkpoints, 7 days, 4 of those are required, but 3 of those are extra credit. So that can always help boost your grade. The course policies. So typically I will return your phone call, within 24 hours. I don't always answer the phone when it rings, and that just depends on the kids. So I do, just know that in advance, but I'll return your call if you do leave a voicemail. But emails are usually fastest, just because the emails go to my phone and they also come to my computer, and I'm usually in front of my computer a lot of the day. So I will be able to answer those questions for you. APA writing style. So you are expected to write within the APA formatting. Now, your discussion posts, you will provide in-text citations and references, and basically you're not going to separate a title page or double spacing in the discussion, just because that's a little difficult with the discussion post. But there is a sample APA discussion post here for you, and the basics of APA style, so you can take a look at that. Now, academic integrity. This is one area I really want to focus on, just because plagiarism seems to be an issue especially within the discussion post. So I want to make sure that you guys are not copying any artist or author's work. So what that means is you read something online and you regurgitate it word for word. That is considered plagiarism, because you're passing off that author's work as your own. So please don't do that. Please read the information, interpret the information, and then discuss the information. Don't just type it. If you do want to share something specific because you don't feel like you need it, or you don't want to change that, you can use quotation marks and in-text citations to basically give that author credit. But you do have to use both of those. You have to use both quotation marks, in-text citation, and an APA formatted reference at the end to be able to give that author credit. If you have any questions about that, definitely let me know. But if you are caught plagiarizing, so I find information copied and pasted from your source and it's not properly cited, the discussion post receives a 0, and I have to notify your associate dean, because that does get put into your file as part of, just overall general tracking. So please don't do that. It's very easy to avoid it. Just don't type anything word for word that you read. And just like I said, read it, interpret it how you need to interpret it, and then discuss it with somebody else and discuss it within the discussion groups. And if you have any questions about it, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to help you if you have any questions. Sometimes if I catch it early, I'll email you, but after the first week, I'm expecting you to be able to catch this on your own, because you should have already seen what this is from your previous courses and know how to prevent it. Now, the only other thing I wanted to go over was the MindTap resources as well. So that's kind of our, housekeeping items we really have to go over, just so make sure you're up to date with everything. But the big thing I want to go over is if you access Chapter 37, it's a really cool, just overall software to go into MindTap and to really just dig into the material. And this is where you'll find you have your ebook, you have your PowerPoints, flashcards, and they spelled this wrong when they put it in there. I'll have to see if I can fix it. I don't know if I have access to MindTap to fix them, but I'll try and see if I can edit it. And they also have activities. So there's a lot of cool things within here. The ebook is really nice because it's very colorful and allows you to do a lot of things that you probably couldn't do if you had just a handheld book. So you can actually do things like you can go in and you can take notes, you can print out chapters. So like the first part is the anatomy of the heart. You can look at chapter contents. You can change the size of the font, which is really nice, because then if you're reading it on different computer screens, you can change that. They also give you information on different types of certifications as well. So it's a really cool book, and there's a lot of resources for it. You can also tell it to read this page aloud. So isn't that kind of cool? So you can actually have it read to you as well. So if you like that lecture style format, it will read it to you. Might take you a little bit longer if you go that route, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just a better way to learn. Sometimes you're auditory and visual. Now it is broken up. The first week we're doing section 1 and 2, so this is kind of nice. So we're really just going over the anatomy of the heart and we're going over the waves. So take a look at those, and if you have any questions at all, definitely let me know. But this information is what you will use to complete your assignment in your week 1 test. And then, you know, as we progress through the chapter each week, you'll use that for the test for the week. So that's really just the MindTap ebook. And it's, like I said, it's a really nice and easy software to work with. The only problem you may have is it runs with Java. So if you have a tablet or you're trying to do it from a smartphone, it may not work so well for you. Just know that in advance that you're going to actually need a computer to complete the assignments within MindTap. And if you have any issues with it, definitely contact IU Technical Support because I don't have access to your individual accounts. I have access to what your grades end up being, but I don't have access to really troubleshoot on the back end of your account. So if you have any problems with that, definitely contact Technical Support. But that kind of wraps up what I wanted to go over tonight. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me. I'm here for you, and I really want to help you understand the material, and I hope we have a wonderful class.